Okay, good morning. I'm actually going to bring this over here. Good morning. We are live on episode 6. It is, I don't like the way my hair looks here. Very fluffy. It's raining, so my hair is being very interesting. Episode 6 of Fierce Live Connection. So far I'm alone, but that's fine. We're still connecting via Zoom, and you can find those credentials on Facebook, on lisagsmith.com under resources. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, under resources events. There's the information on each day. The credentials will not change this entire week, but it is my plan. Shiny nose. It is my plan that starting next week, I'm going to be using YouTube Live. It'll be a little bit more seamless, I think. I'm just still trying to figure out the technical details. So if anybody knows anybody who might know anything about technical details about YouTube Live, please have them reach out to me. I'm figuring it out though. YouTube has a decent amount of videos. So I am a little dressed up today. I thought I'd dress up for you all because I just felt like it. And it reminded me of something that I had said last week that I just wanted to amend. I talked about why bother getting your nails done if nobody is seeing you but you. However, if that's important to you, then obviously it matters. What I was referring to is if you're doing something specifically for someone external to you, then those habits will probably change. But if you're doing something for yourself, like I'm dressing up for you all, but I also like the way I feel when I'm wearing something fun. So I'm doing it for myself as well. Okay, we're going to start the meditation. So I'm going to put this over here so you could look at the little prints. Okay, and then I am going to get to the meditation. This is a loving kindness meditation. So I want you to find a position that's comfortable to sit in, please. Could be in a chair, on a cushion, on a mat, on the floor, however is comfortable for you to sit for about 10 minutes comfortably. So settle in. Feel the support of where you're sitting. So feel the support of whatever you're sitting on. And notice your breath. Notice where you're hearing my words from. Feel a sense of a location of the one who is hearing. So just start with that sense of being attached to the one who is hearing. And now see whether the awareness inside of you can unhook or step outside to be aware of the space all around. So it's as if you're widening your awareness and attention. It feels less as if you're hearing me from a specific place inside of you, but it's as if my voice is just part of all the awareness that's all around you for this moment. And notice that the awareness can move itself. So see if you can drop the awareness below your neck to your heart or your chest area. Try to be aware of moving from thought to feeling. Direct the feeling of sensation, space, and awareness to your heart area. Notice how awareness can drop behind your emotional heart until it finds this safe, homey space in your heart or chest area. And this is a feeling of acceptance. Be aware of this space of acceptance. And see if you can let all of your senses come to your heart or chest area. Remain with this acceptance. As if you don't have to go through thoughts to understand. As if you can feel and observe with your heart. Drop into the acceptance deep inside your heart's knowing, which is different than thought. You may also feel this back behind your back. So it's as if this awareness is opening up in your back behind your chest. The universal boundless heart that holds you, and you can rest and feel at home here. You can breathe deeply into this space and find relief from the chatter. Simply rest here and let go. Feel loving kindness within yourself. Breathe deeply into this space. Rest and let go. You are at home in your heart. It's as if your heart is hugging you. Breathe into this hug. Rest and let go and accept this hug and hominess inside your own heart. Remain with your heart with open awareness. It's an awareness that's inside and outside at the same time. All one space. Breathe into this space. Rest and let go. Feel the unity and seamlessness of the awareness, which is both inside and outside. Breathe into this space. Rest and let go. From your heart, you can feel the flow and support. Breathe into this space deeply. Rest and let go. Feel a friendliness to yourself and to everyone and to everything. Breathe into this effortless mindfulness. Let it hold and hug you. Enjoy. Okay, I'm coming back. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a different take on a loving kindness meditation. So no one is joining me today, it looks like, which is fine. I have plenty of things that I've outlined that I can do. I'm grateful today for healthy food, sleep, and my friends and family. I made a couple of mistakes this weekend. So this weekend, I dropped my routine almost completely. I didn't exercise. I ate things that were not good for me. I didn't wear makeup. Wearing makeup is one of those things that makes me feel good about myself. Don't judge me. It's just the way it is. And I didn't feel that great. I felt unsettled about all of that. So I kind of used myself as a guinea pig for all of the advice I gave everyone last week. I didn't take at all for myself this weekend and then paid for it. So I was very, very happy this morning to wake up, have my routine, exercise, have some healthy food, and now I'm here with you all. I developed a new exercise routine today because I was getting a little bit bored with the one I'd been doing for a while. So I did a combination of exercises this morning. I did a few sets of lunges, 25 minutes of burpees or squat thrusts, and then I did one set of isometric hold exercises, and then I did a very short Shivananda yoga. If you're interested in more details about any of that, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm also grateful for, I've heard from, in this past week and over the weekend, I heard from several of my former clients expressing gratitude for some of the things that they learned while they were my client. So that is great to hear. I'm very happy that I was able to help them with some habits that they've taken into their lives and are proving to be very important now. So what are you grateful for today? Anything that you're grateful for, just take a moment to consider what in this moment or today you're grateful for. And since nobody's joining me here today, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to post, when I post this on Facebook or the various places I'm going to post it, please feel free to just list things that you feel grateful for. I think it's nice for other people to see things that people are grateful for. It kind of sparks people's ideas. So, I'm going to say a brief thing about the healthy food that I ate today. I have a nut mix that I make. I was inspired by a nut mix that I bought for myself and people over the holidays from Chukar Cherries. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I'm just shouting out these things in case anyone's interested in checking out what I'm talking about. Chukar Cherries is Chukar. And I think that's their website, chukar.com. But anyway, they had a nut mix that included cashews, roasted cashews, lightly salted pistachio nuts, roasted almonds, and tart cherries. So I purchased from nuts.com. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just shouting out resources for you all. Nuts.com has everything you could possibly imagine as far as baking goods, every kind of nut you can possibly imagine. They also have every kind of candy. They have beef jerkies, rice, pasta. It's a great resource. So, and they deliver super fast. So if you're not familiar with them and you're interested in any of those products, you might want to check out nuts.com. So every few days, I make a big batch of that combination. And I usually cut up the almonds and the cashews so they're a little bit smaller. And then I just, eat from that for weeks until I run out, and then order more supplies and make more. So that I ate today, and then I also I eat blueberries every day. I eat blueberries or drink blueberry juice, but I prefer to get the direct. Blueberries are an amazing source of antioxidants, so I highly recommend those. So those are two things that I had so far today. Oh, and maca powder. I have organic maca powder every day, a heaping teaspoon. It's a great supplement, and I just take it straight. I just take the powder and chase it with a bunch of water, which I don't have any water sitting here. And I had a decent amount of water today. I also did have a cup of coffee, no milk, no sugar, but I love the taste of coffee too much to give it up. So 1 cup though. Okay, so we have a little over 10 minutes, and there are a couple of things that I wanted to read to you today. I want to read again from Jerry Colonna's book called Reboot. He has some interesting little snippets on this chapter 8 in this book called Heartbreak, Resilience, and the Path to Equanimity. So I wanted to read from his passage here called The Lovingkindess of True Grit. I often speak of resiliency, and no matter how much I try to do otherwise, I still manage to come across as if I'm speaking about grit. So I'll speak about grit. True grit is more than the capacity to grin and bear it. To understand true grit, we need to understand false grit. False grit is brittle. It's the sense that we are nothing if we can't take a punch. In fact, we define taking a punch as the ability to not feel pain when we are punched. False grit is dangerous. It feeds a stubbornness that in turn can feed delusion. We mistake the tendency to delude ourselves that our relationship will improve, our companies will succeed, if we only double down on our old patterns, grip the steering wheel until our knuckles whiten and bear down. Stubbornness is not the hallmark of the warrior. Leaders who persist out of stubbornness, believing themselves to be gritty, are at best delusional and at worst reckless. False grit awakens the crow, one of the implicit messages that we should persist to prove that we aren't as unworthy as the crow claims. Yet a second implicit message is that if we feel like shit after being punched in the face, it must mean that we are shit. The only way to escape the grip of false grit is to recognize its falsity. True grit is kind. True grit is persistent. True grit persists not in holding on to false beliefs against all evidence, but in believing in one's inherent lovability and worthiness. True grit is the leader believing in the team's purpose, its capacity to overcome obstacles, and the relevancy of the cause. True grit acknowledges the potential of failure, embraces the fear of disappointment, and rallies the team to try and reach, regardless of the potential loss. True grit, the capacity to stick with something to the end, stems from knowing oneself well enough to be able to forgive oneself. To have inquired deeply and steadily enough to find the deep sense of purpose that is beyond a personal mission statement. In that knowing of oneself, one is then able to stand as a single warrior amid a community of broken-hearted fellow leaders. We see true grit in the loving kindness of compassionate leaders, those who embody the Buddhist principle of bhattitika and strive to be of service to others. I feel the truth of that, and yet I battle my own obstacles. How do you serve others when your heart is pained and your warrior is terrified? So I like that passage. I think it was really interesting how he differentiates between false grit and true grit. I'd be curious what you all think of that. And I like how he ends that section with a question. How do you serve others when your heart is pained and your warrior is terrified? So I think you or like he says in the passage, you just accept the reality of how you're feeling. You're honest with the people that you're engaged with, and you're open to making a mistake. I had a lot of trouble with being open to making a mistake, and I've talked about a couple of those times with you all already. But I think that if you can open yourself up to making mistakes, you can open yourself up to learning from yourself or from others. So I really liked that passage. And then I want to read, he wrote a poem that I really like. I just want to see if I have to read any of this. Okay, so this passage that precedes the poem is called Listening for Equanimity. And he tells a story, which I don't know that I'll have time to read. Because I want to read it. All right, I'm going to read this one poem. Actually, I'm going to read this poem. No, I want to read that last. Sorry. See, I'm making mistakes left and right. Okay, this poem is called Listen by Jerry Colonna from his book Reboot. On a brightening morning, when dark places seem furthest, brother warrior comes, helping me remember me. He stands with legs firmly rooted in the earth, arms at his side, palms open, back strong, heart exposed. You were not given this life to carry your own sorrow. You were not given this life only to lament. Make holy that which you were given. Go and listen. Over his shoulder, Grandfather Boulder, with his never-ending smile, looks on his two sons of the earth. Listening, he reminds, opens that which pain has closed. In listening, we are healing. We are never healed, but forever healing. We are never loved, but forever loving. So what I like about that passage, and I might read it again, what I like about that passage is it sort of alludes to the fact that there's a process, not like a journey, not a destination. And I think that everything that's happening to everyone all the time is part of their journey. And that line, listening opens that which pain has closed, it's as if the reason you experience pain is because you're not listening. So that's deep. And I'd like to read this poem. I always like to read poems twice. I learned that from David White. He's the poet I'm going to read from next, because it really helps you connect with what the poet is saying. So again, this is called Listen from Jerry Colonna. And I'm going to post both of these poems on the same place that I post this content. On a brightening morning, when dark places seem furthest, brother warrior comes, helping me remember me. He stands with legs firmly rooted in the earth, arms at his side, palms open, back strong, heart exposed. You were not given this life to carry only your sorrow. You were not given this life only to lament. Make holy that which you were given. Go and listen. Over his shoulder, Grandfather Boulder, with his never-ending smile, looks on his two sons of the earth. Listening, he reminds, opens that which pain has closed. In listening, we are healing. We are never healed, but forever healing. We are never loved, but forever loving. Okay, so as I suspected, I'm not going to have time to read the passage that preceded that. I may read it tomorrow. But I do want to read this poem by David White in closing. It's called Enough. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here, this opening to life, we have refused again and again until now. It is not enough to know. It is not enough to follow the inward road, conversing in secret. It is not enough to see straight ahead, to gaze at the unborn, thinking the silence belongs to you. It is not enough to hear even the tiniest edge of rain. You must go the place where everything waits. There where you finally rest, even one word will do. One word or the poem of your hand, turning outward in the gesture of gift. And how we are truly amazed to find the great silence asking so little. Only one word. Okay, I'm going to read that again. This is called Enough by David White. These few words are enough. If not these words, this breath. If not this breath, this sitting here. This opening to life we have refused again and again until now. It is not enough to know. It is not enough to follow the inward road, conversing in secret. It is not enough to see straight ahead, to gaze at the unborn, thinking the silence belongs to you. It is not enough to hear even the tiniest edge of rain. You must go to the place where everything waits. There where you finally rest, even one word will do. One word, or the poem of your hand turning outward in the gesture of gift. And how we are truly amazed to find the great silence asking so little. One word only. I'm going to post that one as well. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear, I've heard from some of you saying you're really enjoying this, so I'm going to continue with the format that I have. But if you have suggestions of things you'd like me to discuss, please feel free to contact me in any way you wish. The best place to find all my contact information is on lisagsmith.com. And this will be posted on Facebook, on my YouTube channel, which is Stay Fierce, and LinkedIn and Twitter. Okay, well, it's been great. Episode 6 in the bag. And I will see you here again tomorrow, Tuesday, March 24th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a fabulous day and stay fierce.